Ik besluit u te vertrouwen, mijn woorden vast te houden. Ik hoor uw stem spreken tot mij. Wees gerust, ik ben je bij. Door het vuur, door de beproeving. Blijf ik standvastig, blijf ik moedig. Ik ook ben waar ik ook ga. Ik weet dat u mij nooit verlaat. Geen angst houdt mij nog van. Ik ben volledig vrij. Ik maak de wedstrijd aan. U bent de weg voor mij. Geen angst, geen oordeel, maar hoop op heerlijkheid. Geen angst, maar vrede, Jezus de hoop in mij. In mijn falen, in mijn zwakte, blijf ik geloven, blijf ik vechten. O til mij op, al vaak ik steeds weer. Je kijkt naar u en wankel niet meer. Geen angst houdt mij nog vast. Ik ben volledig vrij. Ik maak de wedstrijd aan. U bent de weg voor mij. Geen angst, geen oordeel, maar hoop op heerlijkheid. Geen angst, maar vrede, Jezus de hoop in mij. Ik heb hoop, hoop, levend in mij. Ik heb hoop, hoop, die al angst verdraagt. Ik heb hoop, hoop, hoop op heiligheid. Hoop, hoop, Jezus de hoop in mij. Ik heb hoop, hoop, levend in mij. Ik heb hoop, hoop, die al angst verdrijft. Ik heb hoop, hoop, hoop op heerlijkheid. Hoop, hope, Jesus the hope in man. Jesus is our hope, hope all the time. In my weakness, in my angriness, in all the time, I trust you, Lord. You are my hope. You are my way. You are my life. When we put our trust on God's way of leading our life, he will never forsake us. Many of the plans of humans heart, but God's plan prevails, always prevails. So in our life we come up with many plans. Even when you join praise and worship every week, some people join at some time, some people do not join, and some people think it is only for few people, and many do not know how God is reaching, who he is reaching, when we publish it online. So the only count we can see when many people starts following praise and worship meetups, and we may think, like during the summer season, who is going to spend time for God? Why do we take so serious and do it? And even to my surprise, during this period when we connected from India and we connected from Netherlands, like more than 5 or 6 people joined praise and worship meetup group when I published the video, the short clip, not the entire video. The same way in the neighborhood app, people keep getting added every time when I posted a new video. So we never know the plans of God, how he executes. He always knows what he is doing it. So only thing what we have to do is to surrender our ways to God, surrender our plans to God. So making plans is not wrong. So I have admired people's plans, how clever they come up with a plan, like the lifetime plan, the vacation plan, and the plan for the future. But most of my lifetime I have never able to follow my own plans. I have never imagined this is the plan I want to stick into it. Like every time I give it to God. God, you execute your plans. We all know every person will make a plan. Like when we start new year, we make new year plans, new year resolution, like these are the things we want to accomplish in this year. This is the goal I want to reach. Some of them might be successful, some of them might not be, but it is good to make right plans with right targets, and be ambitious to accomplish the goal. So that's how the humans have evolved in the human history. Everyone has their plans, and some of them have been successful and some of them were not. So we know about the famous person Steve Jobs. He used to say the one who are crazy are the ones who change the world. The one who dreams about changing something are the ones who will do it. So when he thought, like he was making revolutionary ideas into life, and many revolutions he brought, but he was not aware of when his lifetime will end. He was always trying to move the human race forward, but he himself did not know about his own life, like what God has planned on his life. But he was very courageous, and he took positive, and he has done so many good things. That's not the point. So the human plans cannot be always hold true. We do not even know, like so how many plans will succeed, how many plans will fail. So after Steve Jobs death, so the current CEO Tim Cook, he took his position. In one of the interview, somebody asked, like what were your life plans? Have you been following your plans, and it's happening according to your plan? He said, so when I came out of my college, I came up with the lifelong plan. So it worked for 1 or 2 years, and afterwards, it went into different directions. But when I, went with the directions of life, I could see, where I'm now that I have never imagined. So even if, in this world, people could, go on the directions which it takes without knowing somebody is, driving their path. But if you believe in the name of Jesus, there is one person who can drive your, directions in your life, and it is, Jesus. I'm calling on the name that changes everything, yes. God turn it around. God turn it around. God turn it around. All of my hope is in the name of Jesus. Breakthrough will come in the name of Jesus. I'm praying God come and turn these things around. Oh yeah. God turn it around. God turn it around. God turn it around. I'm calling on the name that changes everything. Oh yeah. God turn it around. God turn it around. God turn it around. All of my hope is in the name of Jesus. Breakthrough will come in the name of Jesus. God turn it around. 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 He is up to something. He is up to something. God is doing something right now, right now. He is up to something. He is up to something. God is doing something right now, right now. He is healing someone. He is saving someone. God is doing something right now, right now. He is healing someone. He is saving someone. God is doing something right now, right now. He is moving mountains, making way for someone. God is doing something right now, right now. He is moving mountains, making a way for someone. God is doing something right now, right now. All of my hope is in the name of Jesus. Breakthrough will come in the name of Jesus. God turn it around. God turn it around. Oh, God turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. God is doing something. God is up to something. God is moving mountains in your life. But do you have the patience to wait for God to accomplish His plans? As a human, it is, you know, easier to, lose patience. We, come up with a plan, like, so after, in my life, we started the business. After the business, the first year we want to reach, this many customers in second year, and it was a plan for millions. But when you look at our plan, sometimes it will follow, sometimes it might not. Uh, we, lose patience with God. Lord, are you, uh, be with us? Are you leading our life? Lord, is it the one you take care of our path? I don't feel you are leading the way. I don't see any progress. Even I have questioned many times to God. I'm not seeing any progress at all. Are you, uh, you know, uh, be with us? Are you be with me? So this is how most of the time we lose our patience and start deviating from God's plans, and we try to invent our own plans, and we stick to new plans, new goals, and we try to accomplish it. The reason because God's plans are very late. As a humans, we are not able to wait until God's timings. We think it's too late. And from God's perspective, how late is it? When God told Abraham, at the age of, around 75, I will give you a son. So all the years he was longing for a children, especially, a son. But no, it was too late as a human perspective. But for God, it is never too late because He knows the lifetime of a man. He knows His plans. He is, moving mountains in somebody's life. And when he got a son at the age of 100, everybody, could not believe what kind of plan is it. Even he appointed here for his, to continue his, wealth and carry out, on behalf of him because he had no children. He came up with his own plans to, who will, be taking care of the family after him, who will hold all the wealth he earned so far. At the age of 100, God said, here is your here like here is your descendant. He will be your descendant. He will be your son, and everything will go to him. So from world's perspective it is too late, but for God's perspective that was the beginning. Even his own wife, she was, proud in giving a birth to Abraham at the age of 100. But she did not know, God's plans in Abraham's life. He gave, another 6 more children after Sarah's death through another wife. So that's how we underestimate the plans of God. We think, Lord, it is too late. We've been waiting so long. We could not survive. No more time left, Lord. It's too late. But for God, it is the beginning. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. To pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. As we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy. to see you. Holy, 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 holy. I want to see you. When Elisha's servant was afraid of the uh, enemy's army surrounded the whole house, and Elisha prayed, Lord, open the eyes of his heart, open his eyes. When God opened, he saw a great army, God's army surrounding them. So there is no way they can, come inside. So the same way, we could not see God's plans through our own eyes, through what we experience at the moment. We do not know, what the future holds, and it is, same question: how long it will go? According to humans' wisdom and calculations, we need to take a decision at some point, to continue or stop and make a new plans. How do you determine, what step to take? When we trust God, we need to surrender completely to Him until the last moment. As His word says, I will be the lamp, in your foot, the light to your path. It's not like the beam light that He will show us the end of the journey. He will be in our foot as a lamp. He will guide at each and every step. So in business, we say, let's celebrate, small victories. Let's celebrate, small things. Same way, if we accept God, God's plans in our life, we need to trust Him completely instead of saying, Lord, it is too late. When Lazarus was about to die, his sisters, Mary and Martha, send people to Jesus, believing, whatever he asks, God will grant. And, they told Lazarus, your loved one is sick, about to die. And Jesus, was quiet because that was the moment that people were looking for Jesus to kill and stone. So now he is away from this city, Judea, and he was in another city. And Jesus said, no, this sickness will not end in death. And then he stayed another 2 days. And then later he said, let's go to Judea. Our friend Lazarus is asleep. And then the disciples, knowing the situation, if he goes again, people will stone him. But he was inviting, let's go and wake him up. And then they said, Lord, if he is sleeping, he will get well on his own. Why do we need to go and wake him up? And later Jesus said, he's dead for your name's sake, for all your eyes to open. I'm the Son of God, and His name be glorified. It's good that, it has happened. So you can see, God sent me, and He will be glorified through me. So when Jesus was approaching the city, Martha realized Jesus came. She immediately ran and, cried and told Jesus, if you were here, my brother would not have died. So they send message, 2 days early, so, and, Jesus stayed in those 2 days. It was not sure by the time he was already dead. We did not know how much time Jesus took to, reach back after 2 days. But when Jesus reached the city, it was already 4 days over, and he was, buried in his grave. So she said, if you were here, my brother would not have died. It's too late, Jesus. And Jesus said, it is never late. And even I know whatever you ask, God will grant, but it is too late. So, from human's perspective, all of our plans, Martha and Mary's plan was, if they brought Jesus within the a time before he was dying, Jesus could have prayed and he could have healed, but they did not, know. Like, maybe by the time when Jesus was arriving, as soon as he heard, he was already dead. Or we never know. Like, so they thought if Jesus was there and he could raise him back. So that's how our own plans about life and death, about our future and, everything, we calculate with our own wisdom and understanding. And Jesus was saying, I am the resurrection and life. Whoever believes in me, even though they die, they will live. And now he will rise again with human, wisdom. They were saying it. Yes, Lord, he will rise at the end of the days, at the resurrection, at the last day. But it is too late. It's all over, Lord. No more hope. And Jesus, went to the grave and, rose him back to life. I am the resurrection and the life. God sent me, and whoever believes in me will never perish. Whoever believes in me, he will live forever. So that is our hope in Jesus Christ. When we put our trust, our plans into God's hand at the age, until the age of, until the end of our life, he is sufficient enough to, lead us into the right direction. It doesn't take, end of our lifetime to, fulfill all our plans. But every plan we take, if we surrender to Jesus, he will make our plans succeed. எல்லாமே முடிந்ததென்று என்னை பார்த்து இகழ்ந்தன. இனி என்றும் எழும்புவதில்லை என்று சொல்லி நகைத்தன. எல்லாமே முடிந்ததென்று என்னை பார்த்து இகழ்ந்தன. இனி என்றும் எழும்புவதில்லை என்று சொல்லி நகைத்தன. ஆனாலும் நீங்க என்னை கண்ட விதம் பெரியது. என் உயர்வின் பெருமை எல்லாம் ஒருவருக்குரியதே. ஆனாலும் நீங்க என்னை கண்ட விதம் பெரியது. என் உயர்வின் பெருமை எல்லாம் ஒருவருக்குரியதே. நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும், நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும், நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும், நீர் மட்டும் இயேசுவே, நீர் மட்டும் இயேசுவே. உடைக்கப்பட்ட பாத்திரமானே, உபயோகம் அற்றிருந்தேன், ஒன்றுக்கும் உதவுவதில்லை என்று சொல்லி ஒதுக்கப்பட்டேன். உடைக்கப்பட்ட பாத்திரமானே, உபயோகம் அற்றிருந்தேன், மீண்டும் என்னை வணைந்தது குயவனே முந்தன் கரம் மீண்டும் என்னை வணைந்தது விழுந்து போன இடங்களில் எல்லாம் என் தலையை உயர்த்தியதே நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும் நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும் நீர் மட்டும் பெருகணும் நீர் மட்டும் இயேசுவே நீர் மட்டும் இயேசுவே. So when we feel it's all finished according to our own plans, God's plans will begin into new direction. So after 100 years, Abraham got his own son, and he also got another son, but somehow he was sent away, and he could not live with his own son. But now he started loving Isaac the most, because that was the only son, and God also gave his promise to Abraham, like through him I will establish your generation, so he will be your blessing, and he will be the one continue all your heritage. So he poured out so much love with Isaac. At Sunday, God was calling Abraham, Abraham, bring your son, only son, who you love, Isaac. Specific, he will not get confused, Isaac or Ismail. The only son you love, Isaac, take him to the place, to the region of Moriah. Offer him as a burnt offering in the place where I will show you. So God did not like human sacrifice, but God told something strange to Abraham to test his belief in God. It was too late from his perspective to get a son, and now God is asking to do something. His plans are going completely a different understanding of human perspective. He is asking to sacrifice him as a burnt offering. So we cannot understand how God leads our path. Like it was a long delay, and we get into a joy. So now he is enjoying the the child, enjoying the relationship with the child, and he has the assurance, yes, I have a son, and my name is not going to be ruined. God has been so gracious, and now all of a sudden it is taking a twist. God wanted to trust his faith. He did not say. So if everyone questions, like how come God asked, like we all think God told, and Abraham went and he sacrificed. If we clearly understand the plans and path of God, God said, you take your only son, and he must be he must become a burnt offering, but I will show where you need to do, what you need to do, when you need to do. So that is the plans of God in our life. It is not just God tells, like this is the path, this is the start and end. God always walks with us. That is the assurance in our life. In every step, he will be the lamp in our foot. No matter what the world thinks about it, no matter what the the predictions of the world, what the world can imagine about it, but he will be always with you, like how he was with Abraham. He did not tell, you go there, you find this place and you go and sacrifice him. He said, take your only son, he must be a burnt offering, but I will tell you where and what to do. So that is the faith in God. We need to trust God. When Martha was approaching Jesus, she was not aware of God's plans. It was too late, it was all over according to her. But for Jesus, it was the right time to glorify God. And many do not know how God is going to perform wonders. God is going to change direction in one life if we do not stand until the end. So this was a test for Abraham, whether he was pursuing God's plan or his own plans. Like, Lord, you have given one that's good enough. I'm happy. I will end my life with this only one son. This is your promised son. That's enough. He could have not proceeded with God's plan. He could have denied, or he could have questioned himself, is this the voice of God? Even though he firmly knows this is the voice of God, he is leading into a new direction in life. He decided to pursue God's plan in his life, taking his son. After 3 days of journey, God was showing it. So what you need to understand here, God was with Abraham in each step of this journey. He was showing him direction, because he did not tell exactly where, and he needs to show him. Yeah, you go this path, you go to this region, you go to the other side, and until he reaches the destiny, the right point. Even he did not tell, so yeah, this is the mountain. When his son was asking, Father, the wood is here, and where is the burnt offering? Abraham said, God will provide. God Himself will provide. So this faith will come to us when we walk closer with God. When we hear the voice of God, you go to this direction. You go, you turn, right, you turn, left, you go straight. You go to this path. When you hear the voice of God, you believe, God Himself will provide. Like, he was, asking God at every step, Lord, what shall I do? And he was, binding his, hands and laying them over the wood. And again, he is taking, his knife, but, he did not cut. So the burnt offering meant there are several procedures at each stage. First, he needs to, lay his hand as, a voluntary worship to God. Lord, I surrender my everything to you. So that's the meaning of a burnt offering, no matter what the outcome would be. Like, I surrender completely to your hand. He needs to lay his hand as a symbol of surrender, and then the killing will come. Like, so he was asking God every step, even before he lay his hand and making a symbolic recognition. That's the moment God said, no, do not lay your hand, do not do anything. There is a lamb near. No, you take that and offer. Now I know that you fear God, and you have not left your only son, because of the worldly, bondage, worldly, allow, and your own plans. You did not deny. You come until the end. Now I will bless you. Now I will make you a great nation. All the earth, all people on earth will be blessed through you. And your descendants will inherit the cities of your enemies, and they will live happy there. So that is, the plans of God. God was revealing his entire plans when he stick till the end. So to conclude, if we put our trust in God, at every step, He will guide us. when we hear, carefully the voice of God, He will show us and He will reveal His plans, at the right time, at the right moment. As Jesus said, like, I will raise him up and he will, come back to life. When everyone was mourning after 4 days, but God, it is not the end. When we follow, the plans of God, when we, stick until the end, He will be glorified and His name will be glorified through our life.